So, recently, along with playing Sonic Unleashed for my review coming sometime soon, I've been enjoying some classic Sonic games. And with the new Genesis games coming to Switch Online, I think it's a good a time as any to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and why it's my absolute favorite of the classic Sonic games. Following the success of the 1991 title, Sonic the Hedgehog, it was obvious a sequel was in the works. Sonic 1 had sold millions of Sega Genesis consoles, and was seen as a huge breakthrough in the Nintendo-controlled gaming industry. So, 2 sequels were ordered from Sega of Japan's Sonic CD to sell the Sega CD add-on, and Sonic 2, the proper successor to the Sonic 1 game. While Sonic 2 was the more successful one, Sonic CD is still a pretty good game that I'll talk about someday. Sonic 2 set about the target of being better than Sonic 1 in almost every single conceivable way. And it absolutely destroyed that goal, to the point that, after going back to Sonic 1, I was genuinely concerned about how poorly it had aged. Just like the original Super Mario Bros., Sonic 2 introduced a few key new things that made the experience a lot better. Miles, Tails Prower, Sonic's trusty sidekick who was in the game, serves as a player 2 in the horrendously stretched out multiplayer mode. The Spin Dash is a move that allows for instant acceleration to top speed in ball form, which is a great addition that would persist throughout Sonic's career. It added new stages that were mostly all amazing, it introduced the Death Egg and Death Egg Robot, and best of all, it introduced Super Sonic, a transformation achieved by collecting all the Chaos Emeralds that grants increased speed and invincibility, and a very cool stylistic change. All these things Sonic 2 introduced became series staples that have been around for every single game onwards, and served as a building point for Sonic Adventure. As usual, we begin the review with the story, and it starts us off right after Sonic 1. Eggman is back with basically the same plan, but this time he created the Death Egg, a very original flying battle station that's one mustache away from a lawsuit. Sonic has to free the critters, and the robots, platform through the stages, and get to the Death Egg to destroy it. It's simple, and it launches you right in. Admittedly, Sonic 3's cutscenes were nice in this regard, but this gets the job done. Continuing on, we have the gameplay and stages, easily the biggest part of any video review. Sonic 2 continues on the formula established by Sonic 1, adding a Spin Dash, new enemies, and more gimmicks to make each level stick out. Whereas Sonic 1 felt like a chore after Green Hill Zone, Sonic 2 changed things to a 2-act structure and a 1 boss afterwards, which is a great idea that really works out well for the pacing until you reach Metropolis Zone, which for some reason does retain a 3-act structure. The first stage in Sonic 2 is Emerald Hill Zone, which may be another take on Green Hill, but it has its own flavor, and it's a great intro stage teaching you everything about the game. Following up is Chemical Plant, one of the stages that I ranked in my top 10 list. Check that video because Chemical Plant is an amazing stage that perfectly captures speed and platforming. If you stay on the top path, you'll avoid the water below, but if you're so unfortunate as to go below, the water is there to punish you. It's Sonic level design at its finest. Following Chemical Plant, we have a bit of a doozy with Aquatic Ruin. It may not be as good as the previous 2, but it's still an enjoyable stage with a lot of visual distinction, and a few cool water sections. And it follows the same conventions where platforming on the top gets you to higher zones where you can get more speed, and the lower end has more slow water sections. However, it is a bit dwarfed by the next zone, Casino Night. Casino Night is an amazing stage with a lot of casino and gambling elements like pinball and slot machines. It really here started to set in how original the stages and the gimmicks were in Sonic 2, and the next zone following it up as Hilltop Zone is really interesting, with a really cool aesthetic that's really like you're climbing up mountains, and the song really fits. People often forget about this one, but it's an amazing stage that, although leans more to platforming, provides a nice semblance of difficulty that leads into the next stage of the game. And the follow-up with Mystic Cave Zone is pretty much perfect. While the Mystic Cave has a few pits of spikes, it's overall a great stage to just admire the underground mineshaft aesthetic, platform, and solve the puzzles it throws at you, although some odd collision issues make the game a bit less endearing here. After Mystic Cave come the 4 stages regarded as the worst in the game with Oil Ocean, Sky Chase, Wing Fortress, and Metropolis. These stages, I say, are quite unfair in some areas other than Oil Ocean. I actually quite enjoy Oil Ocean, and think it's a pretty decent stage with some great gimmicks. However, Metropolis and Wing Fortress can get pretty annoying because of the enemy placement and cheap tricks they throw at you, but it's expected that as the game goes on, it does get harder. And it never reaches Labyrinth Zone levels of annoying. Okay, maybe Metropolis Zone does a lot, but especially when it had 3 acts instead of 2. And although that music is good, it doesn't fully make up for it. Wing Fortress just has a pretty hard boss and challenging platforming sections, but overall I don't mind it too much. Sonic 2 also had a pretty challenging end boss fight with no rings, meaning you have to do it without getting hit, which is frankly a bit unfair. However, it does make things a lot more nerve-wracking, which is how a final boss is supposed to go, but maybe it's still a bit much. Overall, Sonic 2 has a pretty high skill ceiling, but it's easy enough to pick up and play and have fun with. You're gonna struggle on a few zones, but more experienced players can deal with them, and the way I review things is based on my experience. And my verdict is, the game had mostly well-designed stages, with creative gimmicks and fun platforming, but the endgame just rams up that difficulty to a point where, at a few points, it might seem a bit unfair. Overall though, it's still really fun to play, and you don't just feel like stopping after getting to the second level. Like in Sonic 1, and the Chaos Emerald stages are newly designed half-pipe to show off the Genesis' 3D capabilities. They work great if you turn off all help from Tails. Supersonic is hard to collect, but absolutely worth it in the end, as you blast through stages with the invincibility. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 also had some of the best music pieces in the franchise, from Emerald Hill's amazing tunes to Chemical Plant's perfect synthwave sounding song, and Hilltop Zone's unique sound design. The game never disappoints musically. Metropolis Zone is my favorite track, however. It's really pleasant to listen to. The graphics for the Genesis era are great, and it has a good art direction to boot. It's colorful and vibrant just like the original, and it's usually a joy to look at. The pseudo 3D of the special stages, while are a bit hard to grasp at some point, really show off how the powerful Genesis was at the time. Overall, I consider Sonic 2 to be my favorite classic Sonic game. I think its highs are higher than Sonic 3, and while this isn't considering Mania in the discussion because I sort of consider that a remake with new content, overall, Sonic 2 just consistently impressed me with its level design, and overall holds up so much better than Sonic 1. And as I'll make another video like this for Sonic 3, you can hear my thoughts about why I prefer Sonic 2 in that video. For now, Sonic 2 is my favorite because not only did it introduce so many series staples, but it was also a blast to play with an assortment of iconic and creative levels, amazing music, and graphics for the time that still hold up today. I gave Sonic 2 a 9 out of 10. That's it for me, Deveron, signing off.